I sit in the therapy waiting room and count the tiles on the floor. They are gray and square and clean. My hands are warm and a little shaky. Daniel sits beside me. He is taller than me now. He is strong and quiet. He looks like a man. We will see the counselor soon. I have called this meeting. I asked for help. I am the one who asked. When I look at him now, I see many things. I see his funny smile. I see the way he holds the door for Joy, his little sister. I see how he puts his jacket around her when it rains. I also see the long, heavy shadow of my mistake. That is why I am here. I will tell this story straight. I will tell it so other mothers can hear and learn. My name is Mrs. Ruth. I came to Miami when I was 21. I left Lagos with a small suitcase and big hope. Ken met me at the airport. He had soft eyes and a laugh like warm tea. We married. We had Daniel first. He was a quiet boy who loved cars and little stuffed animals. 2 years later, Joy came, and the house was louder and brighter. At first, everything was fresh. We cooked jollof and played music and tried to build a life. But small problems grew. Ken worked long hours. He said he was tired. He said he needed space. I saw him with other women. I cried alone. Then one night he left with one small bag and closed the door. I was left with a baby and a toddler and a small apartment, and a very loud silence. I did not know then how heavy a single mother's life can be. I learned fast. I worked 2 small jobs. I studied English in the day. I crawled into bed at midnight and slept like a tired dog. My children were everything. They were the life I had. Our apartment was 2 rooms. The bathroom was tiny. It had a small tub and a weak shower. It was hot in summer and cold in winter. Bath time became a small, calm place in the storm. I would bathe Daniel when he was a baby. He loved the splash. He loved to watch the bubbles. I would step into the tub with him when he was very little. He would laugh and kick and call me mama. The water washed away the hard day and my worry. That night, when all the work was done and the bills were not solved, that warm tub felt like a safe place. I know why I did it. I was lonely. I was tired. I was only 25 and a single mother. I did not know the long shape of what a habit could become. I did not know how small choices make deep paths. At the start, it was simple and good. Daniel was a baby. I held him close. We sang. I told him stories of Lagos. When Joy came, we did the same. She slept while Daniel played in the tub. I told myself I was giving them love. I thought these were the things a mother does. Neighbors would say, "You are a good mother." My aunt in Lagos said, "Keep them close." In our family, we hold children tight. We seldom leave them alone. I grew up like that, so it felt normal. It felt right. But the world of Miami is not the same as our village. The small apartment was not safe in the same way. There were different rules. People here expect some privacy sooner. Children learn private parts are private. I did not see that at first. I kept our old ways in a new country. Slowly, whispers came. A pediatrician asked a question and looked a little surprised when I said I still bathed with my son at 7. A neighbor, a kind woman, mentioned privacy and growing up in a small, worried voice. I would smile and tell myself she did not understand. I told myself I knew my children best. These subtle signs were like tiny pushbacks at the edge of my sleep. I did not listen enough. I remember the night I woke up, the night the light came on. Daniel was 12. He was bigger. His voice was deeper. One evening after his bath, he said something simple and small. He said, "Mama, I can wash myself now." He said it not like a child, but like a person testing the world. His voice was firm. My heart stopped. The bathroom light buzzed above our heads. I had prepared dinner. Joy was at the table coloring a picture. Daniel stood in the doorway, water in his hair, droplets on his shoulders. He looked at me with a small, brave face. At that moment, I saw all the baths and the towel and the door staying open. I saw myself in that tiny apartment struggling and tired and reaching for a place to feel safe. I saw my mother's voice in my head saying, "Hold them close." I saw the pediatrician's eyebrow. I felt shame prick my skin. I said, "Yes, my love, you can wash yourself." I felt relief and fear both. It was a start, but inside I worried. For years, my habit had told him he could not be separate from me. I had folded his space into mine. I had kept the door open. That night, I could not sleep. I prayed until my eyes were sore. I started to ask questions. I read small articles on my phone. I spoke to an older friend at church. She said, "Little things teach them who they are. Teach them who they should be." I held that and tried to change. Change is simple and very hard. I began with the small things. I bought a curtain for Daniel's bed. "You can't find Josh Ross?" "Do the train for Carolyn," I answered coldly. I taught Joy how to close a door. I installed a latch in the bathroom. I taught them the words private and mine and yours and no and stop. Sometimes I felt like I was teaching a new language. The first week, Daniel refused to close the bathroom door. He said it felt weird. He said, "Mama, you are not there." His voice shook. He had grown used to my presence like a blanket. Losing the blanket was cold. We made a plan. I said, "From now on, you will lock the bathroom when you bathe. If you need help, you knock. I will listen, but I will wait on the other side of the door." He agreed slowly. We practiced. We knocked and waited, and then opened the door. We laughed awkwardly when he called, "Mama, I dropped the soap." I learned to stand by and not step in right away. When Daniel was 15, I asked him if he would come with me to talk with a counselor. He blinked at the word counselor like it was a new color. He was not upset. He was curious. He wanted to be fair and to do right. He came. Marisol was patient and soft. She listened while I said the words that break a mother's throat. I was wrong. I was tired. I made it a habit. It crossed lines. I did not say the hard things that happen in some families. I said the honest truth. I told how I had left the door open because of fear and loneliness. She nodded and did not look shocked. She looked kind. Daniel sat and watched me. He asked one question. "Mama, did you ever know this would make me feel bad?" I shook my head. "No," he said. "I did sometimes. I always thought you loved me so much. I was scared to tell you I wanted my own space." I learned that even when a child does not speak, there is quiet that tells a parent a lot. I learned to listen better. It was not only Daniel who felt the trouble. Joy felt it too. She was young and bright, and she watched everything like a small spy. When I changed the bathroom rules, she first giggled and then clung to me at night. She worried that everything would change. I sat with her on the bed and explained in very simple words, "We will have rooms. We will have doors. Mama is still here. This is so you can be strong." She kissed my hand and went to sleep. Our family had to learn new ways to be close. We could hug. We could cook together. We could talk at the table for a long time. We could read stories and go to the park. We could laugh about silly things. I learned that love is not only in being physically near. Love is also in letting a child grow on their own. I also learned to be honest with other adults. I spoke with my aunt and with my church friends. Some were kind and said, "We all make mistakes. We learn." Others were silent. I learned not to trust silence. I learned to trust people who listen. Years passed. I worked and cooked and watched my children grow. I fell in love with small things. Daniel learned to drive. He loved music and fixing small cars. He helped Joy with her schoolwork. He was gentle with little people at the playground. He had friends who came and left their shoes in the hallway. Then came a day I had not seen. Daniel was 18. He sat across from me at the kitchen table. The sun made a stripe through the window and landed on his wrist. He had a letter in his hand. He was going to college soon. He looked like the man he was becoming. He said, "Mama, there is something I want to tell you. I thought about it for a long time." His voice was small. I took his hand and I said, "Say it, my son. Tell me." He breathed, and then he said something that made the air change shape. "I will not use big words." He said, "Mama, because you were so close when I was little, I never learned how to be alone. Sometimes I mix the feelings. I am not the child I was. I had to learn who I am. Counseling helped me. I still get confused sometimes, but I know that keeping boundaries is right. I thought you should know this. I forgive you." He said the last line slowly. "I forgive you." I sat very still. I felt the floor under my feet. My eyes filled. My heart opened, and also my body felt tired in a new way. I held his hand, and I cried. We were both crying before the rice on the stove burned. This was the truth. He loved me still. He always loved me. But his love had to be placed into the right boxes: son, friend, protector, not into the places that confuse what a mother is. We saw Marisol again. We cried and we laughed. We learned words to use when we felt confused. Daniel learned how to say, "I need space," and I learned to hear him without fear. We practiced small things, like knocking and waiting, and making a small family rule: no sharing of beds or towels when older. I bought in a towel with his name on it to help. Joy learned too. She learned to say no when she wanted privacy. I taught her the word privacy, like teaching a new song. She learned to lock the bathroom when she bathed. She learned to cover her body when she changed clothes. She learned her body belongs to her. That idea is close to my heart now. We grew more honest in our house. We talked about feelings a little every day. We asked each other, "How are you today?" We listened. People will ask, "Why did you keep the door open for so long?" I will tell them what I did not tell at first. I will tell them the hard truth. I will say, it was not because I did not care about my children. It was because I was tired, lonely, and afraid. I wanted to feel needed. I held on too long. I will say I am sorry for my mistake. I will say I learned. I will say I will teach others. I will say small things matter. Bath time is a small thing, but small things make the road for a child to walk on. If the road is narrow at first and then wide, the child can step easily. If the road is always a small path that is shared with the parent, the child can get lost. Now, Daniel is a good man. He will go to college. He has friends. He calls his sister. He tells me when he feels sad. He hugged me the other day and said, "Mama, thank you for changing." I smiled, and the sun felt right. Joy is 14 now. She is loud and she loves to paint. She locks her door and she says no when she does not want to be hugged. I am proud, and also I am careful. I watch myself. This story is not only mine. It is for every parent who is tired and lonely. It is for every mother who thinks small closeness is always safe. It is for every adult who loves a child. I want to leave clear, simple rules. These are the things I wish someone had told me. 1. Teach privacy early. Tell small children that some parts of the body are private. Use simple words. Make private time normal. Teach it like you teach brushing teeth. 1. Keep small boundaries. A toddler needs hugs, but also needs to learn how to dress alone, to knock, to be comfortable with a closed door. Practice this with games. 3. Change as they grow. What is okay for a 2-year-old stops being okay for a 10-year-old. Pay attention and change daily habits as the child grows. 4. Talk about feelings. Say the words, "I respect your body," and "you are safe to say no." Ask them how they feel. Make feelings a part of your mealtime. 5. Seek help early. If you feel confused, find a counselor. If your child seems confused, find help together. Therapy is not shame, it is a tool. Aspects: teach children to have safe adults. Help them name a trusted teacher, cousin, aunt, or neighbor they can talk to if they feel strange. 7. Forgive and repair. If you make a mistake, say sorry. Fix the things you can. Children can forgive. Adults can forgive themselves if they change. I am not perfect. I still cry sometimes at night. I still miss my home in Lagos. But I am learning to be brave in a new way. My love for my children is clean and clear now. I show them with words and with doors closed, and with jokes and with hugs that mean I see you. I show them that being close does not mean being the same. When I speak in the therapy room today, I will say the truth. I will tell other mothers that love must have edges. I will tell them to teach privacy and to trust the small, quiet signs. I will tell them to forgive themselves and to act with courage. If my story helps one mother change one habit, if one child learns what mine means, then my hard nights will mean something. That is why I tell the story now, with the tiles on the floor and the lemon soap smell and my son beside me, who is a man and my child all at once. We will go into the counselor's room soon. I hold Daniel's hand. He squeezes back. He nods. We step through the door together. I am not perfect. I am learning. I am still his mother. And now, with the right boundaries, I can be a safer one.